Location independent lifestyle design. What are the 7 most important things to consider? I'm Geoff McDonald, the Ideas Architect, and I've been living a location independent lifestyle for the past 5 to 10 years, depending on how you count it up. Most of this time I've either been working from home, coaching clients online, plus I've been house sitting around Australia for the last 3 years. And now through Anywhere Experts, I coach entrepreneurs, business experts in how to earn money from their expertise from anywhere. And today I'll share the top 7 things I've learned that I think you need to know about how to do location independent lifestyle design. This is perfect for solo entrepreneurs currently working for themselves or people in organizations who might just be thinking about the future and thinking, ooh, that'd be nice. Location independence, I could be free to live anywhere. And that might range from living on that idyllic beach to simply working from home so you can be around your family more often. Make sure you stick around to the very end because I've got a bonus tip for you. The number one thing you need to look out for when you become location independent. One of the best ways to learn anything is to do it with others. And that's my encouragement around this video. Share it with either the friends, the colleagues, or the family that you're going to be working with when you are location independent. And see what you can learn from each other about how to do location independent lifestyle design for you. What are we talking about when we say location independent? Normally we think about it in terms of people working out of the office. Sure, we could go on a holiday anywhere we want, but that's not really location independent because it's not sustainable. That's only a short-term escape from some dreary humdrum life back at home. Instead, we're talking about lifestyle design that is sustainable for you. And in particular, how can you be free of a location? As in, you could be in the country, you could be in the mountains, you could be in the beach, you could be in the city, you could be in your same neighborhood you've always lived in, but it gives you the choice. Second up, what do we mean by lifestyle design? Well, normally in work, we have goals that we want to achieve in our business or our work or our career. We're simply creating goals for our lifestyle. And that might be to buy a house, it might be to travel, it might be to move out of home from your parents, it might be to move into home with your parents. There's lots of alternatives here. But if we don't stop and think about the opportunities that are available to us, they'll just pass us by. My number one principle for lifestyle design of any sort is to start with the V. Start with your vision. Yes, you might start with why and go, why do I want to do this? But it's only when you translate the why into a vision do the two make sense in the world. A lot of people come up with this fantastic conceptual why. Oh, I want to do that because it's a cool thing to do. It's like, no, start with what it might look like. Then look at what are the reasons that you want that. So if I want to be traveling around the world and living in a van, why do I want to do that? And it might be adventure, it might be escape, it might be a whole bunch of reasons. Start with your V. Now for the most important principle of lifestyle design for location independence of all. And again, we're using the context of work here. And the critical principle is this. Number one, you are where your work is. Or your work is where you are. Whichever way you want to say it. So if you think back in history, we used to have the feudal system where the farmers were tied to the land. They couldn't go off to Spain because their farm was back in England or thereabouts. They had to stay on the farm to look after the animals and grow their crops. Then we evolved into, well, we could call it evolution. We came across factories and we had to be standing next to the machine to make sure it went clonk, clonk, clonk. That was work. We stood next to the machine. Now we have laptops, mobile phones, and the internet, which means I can be working from anywhere and I can use those tools to talk to anyone, anywhere. As what happened in one of my webinars, I had a guy on a mobile phone in Bali, walking around the street, sitting on the beach in Bali, tuned into one of my webinars. That's what's possible now. You could be the person in Bali on the beach, or you could be the one sitting at home talking to them in Bali. Either way works. The important piece about this principle that the work is where you are is that you need to be doing something that requires your brain power, that requires your thinking, your expertise, your know-how. If it's about you working one-to-one with someone, as in you had to dig a hole together, that's not going to work. But you could ultimately teach somebody how to dig a hole. I'm not sure that's going to be a very lucrative market, but it's an example. So the idea of working from wherever you are comes down to what do you know and what do other people want to know and learn how to do. If you can crack that code, then location-independent living could be for you. The third principle for location-independent lifestyle design is to strengthen your safety net. So let's think about this. So if I'm living in this same house for, let's say, 5-10 years, and I know all my neighbors around it, and I know my family lives up the street, and I know I've got a friend around the corner, what do I do if something goes wrong? Well, you get on the blower and you give them a call, and they can come round and give you a hand. But if you're traveling overseas, interstate, or away from home, what are you going to do? I was doing a house sit looking after 2 little cats in Broken Hill. And if you know anything about Australia and where Broken Hill is, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's about 300 kilometres or about 180 miles away from the nearest town. And even Broken Hill is only 20,000 people. It's not exactly a metropolis. Great place, worthy of a visit, but it's not a metropolis. And I didn't know anybody when I got there. So what do I do if something goes wrong? Well, you need to have at least a loose plan around that. You need to know, have I got some money to pay for something? Have I got a way to fix things? Like if my car broke down or my computer broke down, what's my backup plan? If I became unwell, what happens? Do I have medical insurance? A little bit of risk planning here makes a huge difference. Cross your fingers you'll never need it, and on that trip I didn't, but it was nice to know I had a couple of things covered. So think through, what's your risk? What are your safety nets? And how can you manage yourself if something goes wrong? Our fourth principle for location-independent lifestyle design is to think big and think small. Often when I talk to people about location independence, they immediately think about traveling around the world or getting in their van and driving around Australia as a digital nomad. Fantastic. Love the plan, love the grand plan. But it doesn't have to start there. That might be the end goal, but you can actually start here right now today. So for example, I started working from home. That was location independence from the point of view that I didn't actually have to go to an office. Once I got a laptop, I could go to the coffee shop. Then I started going to the library. Then I started putting things in my backpack and went to the library and the coffee shop. And then the library and the coffee shop and a different one. And I had 4 or 5 different libraries and I had 4 or 5 favourite cafes and I used to just rotate, and that was my lifestyle. I was living in the same place, but during the day I was location independent. So that's my example of thinking small. It doesn't have to be the other side of the planet to start with, but think big and think small, because you can do this today. You don't actually have to wait until the planets align. Principle number 5 for location-independent lifestyle design is to talk to the people that matter. The idea that I'm a solo traveler and independent of everybody else is completely false. It's garbage, it's rubbish, it's not true. No one is independent in that way. We are all dependent on other people. Imagine this. So it might be that I'm traveling to a town interstate or overseas, but how am I getting there? I'm driving my car or I'm catching a train or something. And how am I driving my car? Well, I need to stop and get petrol from somebody. So I need that person. I might have to get some food. Fancy that, I need some food. So I need to stop and buy some food. So we're always integrated with other people. And this might be really obvious for you with your family. So it might be speaking to a partner. It might be involving your children. It might be talking to your grandparents. It might be talking to your best friend. What are they going to do if you take off? We're always dependent and reliant on other people. Before you plan anything big in terms of being location independent, in terms of your lifestyle design, make sure you talk to these people. They might actually have some great ideas on how you can do this really well. They might have some suggestions or requests on how to keep in touch. They might even be able to provide you with just your safety net. So talk to the people that matter as you plan your lifestyle design. Now, there's a good chance you're either on Instagram or you're on Facebook or possibly even both. And I'm sure your experience when you're looking there is that you'll just see that everybody else is having a fantastic time. You see these pictures, they're sitting on the beach, they're visiting this ancient monument, they're drinking champagne in the most wonderful places. Well, life can be like that, but most of the time it's not. Think about your day and think about traveling. Like, travel's a great example. Most of the time when you're traveling, you're waiting either for the bus or the plane or the ship to arrive, or you're sitting on the bus, plane or ship waiting to get to the destination. So if your whole goal around being location independent is about the bliss and the joy and the spectacular Facebook or Instagram shot, you're going to be disappointed, because 90% of the time life is not like that. Life is often quite mundane if you think about it. We have a shower in the morning, we get dressed, we wash our clothes, we eat breakfast, we have coffee. We might even, if we're looking after a pet, have to scrape up their doo-doos. It's not exactly fun, it's not exactly exciting. But often when we see things on a limited filter of Facebook or Instagram, we think it's better than it is. So my number 6 principle for location independent lifestyle design is to remember that happiness is within you. Location independence might sound romantic, but you have to at some point deal with the day-to-days as well. Keep that in mind. And principle number 7 of location independent lifestyle design is an extension of number 6. You need to enjoy the whole journey. As I said, a lot of the time when you're traveling, you're just waiting to get somewhere. So unless you're going to set things up to actually enjoy the moment, even when things aren't going so well, you're going to miss out. You're going to struggle with this and you're going to run home to your old lifestyle of sitting at home. Like, same example for me. It might be as simple as me going to work in the library and really looking forward to the library. But it might be some idiot sitting next to me yapping away or clicking on his typewriter, making a lot of noise. That is going to happen. Sorry. Life's like that. Lifestyle independence, lifestyle design, principle number 7, enjoy the whole journey. By the way, remember we have a bonus tip coming up. The most important thing to look out for in designing your location independent lifestyle design. So let's wrap up what we've covered here. Our 7 principles, location independent lifestyle design. Number 1, start with V. Number 2, work is where you are. Number 3, strengthen your safety net. Number 4, think big, think small. And number 5 principle is talk to the people that matter. Number 6, remember that happiness starts with you. And that follows with number 7, enjoy the whole journey. And here's the bonus tip. The number 1 thing to look out for as soon as you start talking to people about location independent lifestyle design is that everyone is going to have an opinion about you. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to be jealous. Some people are going to despise you. Sometimes it's more about them than it is about you. Sometimes they're concerned about you because what you're doing is unconventional. It's unfamiliar. And it might also challenge them. They might be secretly going, oh my God, I wish I could do what he was doing. And therefore they can't be with their own concerns, so therefore they put those on you. So my number 1 tip is listen and be kind and be compassionate and absorb what you can from the other people around you. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's right. And whether they believe you, agree with you, or support you, you've still got to stay strong to who you are and what your vision is for the future. Every single person that I've talked about who works in a different way has had the same interactions. Someone supports them, someone doesn't. Someone loves it, someone doesn't. That's life. The key to remember is that we are all on different journeys. You need to enjoy yours and others will enjoy theirs. Given you've watched this whole video to the end, I bet there was something, even if it was small, that you got out of this video. If that's the case, Hit the subscribe button down the bottom so you can continue to receive more great videos like this one, and also you can be part of the community. Thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye.